have some time making some statements.
Mazi was here. Go ahead.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior, holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior, holy, holy, holy. Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, 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 holy. Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, holy, holy. Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Yes, this is IPOB USA, Texas. We are gathered in front of the Fox television office, and we are doing the rally supporting and urging the world to pay attention by helping us to demand the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, which is a peaceful self-determination movement that was kidnapped in Kenya 4 years ago and has been in their solitary confinement. We got here exactly at 11:30 this morning. They were already waiting for us. The police came, the security for Fox building came, and then they knew we were coming. So we are here doing the needful, urging America to add their voice for the call to release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. Tomorrow, people are honking us as they are driving by, and we are doing it. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. This is Mazi here reporting.
Yeah, that Mazi. Yeah, Mazi. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm hearing voices. They're coming. You have some crowd there. I can hear from their voice, and I'm gonna end the program because South Africa is coming. So yes, yes, they did. They were. Biafra we have.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olo province of Biafra land. Today is the 9th day of November 2022, being Wednesday. Ubocheke. Wednesday, Eke Day in our calendar. Therefore, without taking any time, I will hand over the microphone, the platform, to the head of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Chika Edoziem, please go on. The platform is yours. There we go.
Thank you, Mazi Jonathan Ndewo. I believe you can hear me.
The whole world is hearing you, not only me. Please go on, sir.
Thank you so much. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night, great and wonderful people of Biafra. Depending on your time zone, wherever you may be at this very moment. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olo province of Biafra land. And by the mercy and grace of Chukwuka Biama, I serve the indigenous
merging. That raises more questions than answers at the moment. But what's your impression of this, for instance? Thank you very much. My impression, I think, is just the impression of every Nigerian at this point. This is an aberration. I mean, you don't attack a Nigerian Defense Academy and kill officers and get away with it.
Yeah.
The last time I was in NDA was in 2017. I went to carry out an investigation by the Minister of Defense. I wanted me to check what is going on with the training and the security environment there. I remember I spent about a week at NDA with the commandant and with the staff, you know. But something struck me, and that was every Friday, the gate of NDA is thrown open, and everybody have access to come and pray in the mosques. And I want to actually enjoin journalists to go to all military formations across the country on Friday by 1 o'clock. You are going to see the same thing happening across all military formations, including Naval Training Command at Papa, including the division in Ibadan, including NDA, including Jaji. I was in Jaji in 1994 for my junior division. And every Friday, our gate is thrown open. And everybody comes in to pray in our mosques. Even though they have their mosque outside. If you go to defense headquarters, I serve at defense headquarters as the Deputy Director, Defense Administration between 2015 and 2017. Throughout my 2 years at defense headquarters, I received visitors only twice because of the strict security architectures at the defense headquarters. But every Friday, the gate of defense headquarters is thrown wide open for everybody to come in and do Jumat. That is the time the terrorists have the time to profile our security environment.
Has that always been the case?
It has always been the case. I've served the military intelligence. For the past 35 years, it has always been the case. Our problem is religion and social-cultural. I mean, people will expect me to come here and start talking about kinetics, about operation and so on. I've been an operational commander all my life. I've commanded warships, I've commanded troops, I've commanded men outside Nigeria and so on. But I'm not going to come to your station to discuss kinetics. The problem is not kinetics. In 2017, 2016, I'm always a member of the Security and Intelligence Brief at the Defense Headquarters. I told them, General Lawrence Shakin then, that the challenge we have in this country cannot be solved the same way we solved the problem of Niger Delta. The Niger Delta problem was solved during Yaradua time, basically by me. And I told them that we can't use that same template for Boko Haram. I told General Lawrence Shakin to look at the center of gravity of the problem. And we all came together. I was made a member of the committee, including Atahiru that just died was a member of that committee in 2016, 2017. And we came to a conclusion after several arguments. The arguments were three. To identify the center of gravity of the problem, one group said it is the fighters, the Boko Haram fighters are the center of gravity, so we should go after them. Another group said the center of gravity of Boko Haram is Abubakar Shekau. So if you go after Abubakar Shekau, then the problem of Boko Haram will be solved. I took exception to the group. I said that is not the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram insurgency that we were having between that 2012 and 2017. And General Lawrence Shakin asked me, allow me, why are you giving problem? What is the problem? Give us the answer. And I told General Shakin that if I tell you the answer, you're not going to be able to solve the problem. He said, what is the problem? I said, the center of gravity of Boko Haram and insurgency in Nigeria are the sponsors of that program. It was beyond us. Because the job we need to do is kinetics. Fight, destroy places, resolve issues. Yeah. But we cannot resolve issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who?
I was in the military intelligence. Okay. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that could have resolved that problem. Because you need to arrest people. And recently, 400 people were gathered as sponsors of Boko Haram. Why is it that Buhari government has refused to try them?
So the government knows sponsors of Boko Haram?
Of course, it's in the news. In April this year, the government said they have arrested 400 Bureau de Change related, people that were sponsoring Boko Haram. They told us. And Abu Dhabi also helped us to arrest few Nigerians. Tried them. We know them. Why can't this government, if not that they are partisan and they are actually part of the charade that is going on, why can't they bring those people out for trial?
So the Bureau de Change operates on the one hand, but you particularly said people in government. Are those part of the Bureau de Change, or those people that you say are in government are still there, government is aware, and government is condoning them?
The people I mentioned that are in government are not these ones they just arrested. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012. Yeah. And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday? And the solution I gave them in 2017, because when I identified the center of gravity for General Lawrence Shakin, and they couldn't pursue it, because some of them were ministers. And what I'm saying now, the Department of State Services are listening to me. They know them.
Yeah,
So the solution I gave them was that if we can't pursue the policy strategic level, because the people that we need to talk to are also, going to be difficult to deal with. I said what they should do now is to conduct two things. We should buy blimps. The blimps are not UAVs. They are not drones. Blimps are equipment that can fly up to 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet, static if you want, mobile if you want, and they carry a lot of payload. We saw them in Afghanistan. We saw them in Kenya. This will be something that can give us real-time intelligence, and we can know where these bandits or terrorists, where they emanate from, when they finish operations as they've done, where they go back to.
Okay. Well,
they did not buy this equipment up to.
No. Okay, you said quite a number of things. Let's pick up on some of them and see if we could make some, if you could shed some further light on some of them. Since 2012, I mean, you've been in operation, as you said, ever since that time. You questioned several people. Some people were identified at that time. Did the government at that time try any of them? Or were any of them also in government at the time?
No, the government did not try any of them, and the defense headquarters where I worked then did not pursue that line of operation because it's beyond them. The defense headquarters, actually, when you look at the defense structure of Nigeria, they lie within the policy strategic level, but basically they are operational guys. So when you have policy problem, then they cannot go beyond their masters. They can write intelligence report and say, this is what is going on. And we've seen that the present government know what is going on.
I'm sorry, is this a policy problem? I mean, the laws are clear. If someone is said to be involved in something as devious as this, the laws are clear. This person is meant to be arrested, questioned. I mean, it's quite clear. So is it a policy problem? We have the laws. So what is stopping the security agencies from actually enforcing the law, since that's what they are?
I think what is stopping them is like when you are a member of a church and your pastor have decided to be at a certain level of spiritualism and you're a member of that church. You cannot be higher than your pastor spiritually. You can't, no matter what you do.
So this is the same religion you spoke about?
Yes. In real life, you see that the defense headquarters cannot conduct any operations that is not sanctioned by the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yeah. They cannot.
No matter how small, little
they cannot. So, when the Yar'Adua government decided to put an end to Niger Delta militancy, that was in 2007. What he did was simple. He called all the security chiefs and all the intelligence chiefs and tasked them to come up with a solution. The Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Intelligence Agency, the Department of State Services were called with the Inspector General of Police and the Interpol to come up with the solution to the problem. Then the problem was Niger Delta. The president was Yar'Adua. He was dispassionate. He wanted to solve the problem. Within 6 months, we solved the problem. I remember I have to go to Angola to go and bring Herioka, and nobody in Nigeria knew what we did. All we know is that since 27, 28 that we conducted our operation under Yar'Adua, Niger Delta issue has remained manageable. This government does not want to resolve this problem. They are escalating it because of tribal and religious sentiments.
So when you say this government does not want to resolve it, don't forget the same government has purchased. In fact, they're going to induct the Kanu jet because of, the insecurity situation. They have, the president has had to change guards, as it were, as a result of people's clamor. I imagine if that was not in the thinking, why would you go that length to make some of the, some of the pronouncements, the meetings that have happened, the purchase, the change of guard and rest? Why would they do all that if they don't want to solve this?
because that is not the solution. What you just mentioned is not the solution. When you have a problem at policy level, strategic level, operational level, when you have a problem, what you need to do is to identify the center of gravity of that problem and attack it. That's what you do. What they are doing is not attacking the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram and insurgency. So if the president is buying super to Kanu, is changing service chiefs, that is not the solution. We are looking at the wrong side. It's not kinetic. It's politics.
Are you ruling out kinetic altogether?
I can't rule out kinetic because
so it's
a spectrum. It's a spectrum, you know, so you can't rule out something. But the center of gravity is what they should look at. And what is it? I'm saying it on this channel. It is the sponsor of Boko Haram and bandits.
And speaking about the sponsors, you know, when you say the DSS, and yeah, they could be listening to you, but so they profile, part of their responsibility is to profile all of these persons before they either vie for elections or before, excuse me, they are nominated for any of these positions. Doesn't that happen? Don't they get intel and say, look, this and this is what we found, and then we don't think that this should proceed further? Doesn't that happen?
It does. You know, when I worked with the DSS in 2007, because when Yar'Adua approved the operational order that we did, we now have to work together as a team. He actually forced all of us to sit down together and work together. I was surprised at the tremendous amount of information had by DSS. I was shocked. We in DI, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and when they were forced to bring out the files, I was shocked. They have so much information at DSS presently, as I'm talking about what I'm talking about. They have. But you see, if a fish is going to get spoiled, it's going to start getting spoiled from the head. The DSS will not do anything except the commander-in-chief's body language shows that this is the direction I want to go. That is where the problem is. The DSS has tremendous information. By the time 2023 is here and somebody take over and wants to undo some of this evil that I've seen in this country, you'll be surprised names that the DSS will bring out. They have the information. There's nothing I'm going to say here that they don't have. The defense headquarters have the solution for the kinetic aspect. They do. I'm not going to come here to advise them. I work with them and they're still there. The chief of naval staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in Defense Intelligence Agency. That's Vice Admiral Gambo. I know these people are good. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized.
You know, assuming but not conceding that, I mean, that all of this is the case. So what is the end game? Because I imagine as a strategist, that's what you think about. So these things are happening. What is the end game? So why will this be allowed to fester? For what purpose?
The end game for them, because we did, normally when you want to look at this type of challenges, what you do is that you go through what we call the intelligence circle. Okay? When you do the processing and you do the analysis before dissemination point, you
the bricks. Sunday. Oh na 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 na. Watch it out. Watch me far away, see me far away. Shabada, tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have. Because I have myself, oh, then think say na defense, oh. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, so go learn to pretend, do not run away. Kind of sober than you. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I thought. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I am. Ohaneze Ndigo, how na day? I don't come to speak my mind with no delay. Let them know say una eyes clear about una way. Watch out, many things they happen in that country you dey. So some people trouble upon people every day. Even when you dey, you go talk say you know dey. I need to understand why this one about. I need to understand why the truth apart. The promise that we got and nationalize. The promise we will live and no complaints. Watch me far away. Watch me far away. See me far away. See me far away. Tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have. Because I have myself. Then things say na defense. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, you go learn to pretend. Do not run away. Kind of sober than you. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I thought. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I am. Samada, cha cha cha, kick I come back again to tell people say, now here we dey. We don't come to stay. I say no retreat, no surrender. We're living big, but no array. Look at the soldiers killing innocent Biafrans every day. Look at Islam is killing innocent Christians every day. It's a penny, it's a penny, it's a penny. Chupoki Kogama, Patranya say Maka, Patranya say Maka. I know Ginaka, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I am. That is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, one. Biafra nile, ayisigi gabaniru, onya kaya kacha, weli feneme, onye naya nejuno hile, chuku kwa mawaja. You are whiter than snow, oku kibesio. We stand where you stand, we say no secret trial. Onye chuku. Ezosika, Osiki, Ohamadike, no secret trial. Prophet Yahweh's young, Osiki, Ohamadike, Osiki, Jisike, Matus, Ejike, Kone, Osiki, one day put a beach, Sikwa, no well if an eme, oh well if an affair, oh well if an actor. Yes, one name, Victor, Chimezie, Okorochuku, Igbo Network Television, London, Osiki Chisike, Nahabugi Nazu, Umu Biafra Nile, getting the Nova, Asiki Gabaniru, no secret trial, no secret trial, no secret trial, no secret trial. Hey! Watch me far away, see me far away. Tell me what you saw. I will show you what I have. Because I have myself, oh, then think say na defense, oh. Make you watch my back. Now wait till you they see, yeah. Unless you have the sense, oh, you go learn to pretend, oh. Do not run away. Find us over you. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I know. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I say, that is why I say. Yes, you have the sense, oh, you go learn to pretend, oh. Do not run away. Find us over you. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I know. That is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I thought, that is why I say, that is why I say, that is why I
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Alo province of Biafra Land, and we are here live and direct. Today is the 19th day of the 11th month, being November 2025. We are here live and direct here on Radio Biafra platform, where we preach not only the gospel of physical liberation, but also that of mental emancipation, that you may know the truth, so that the truth shall set you free. Therefore, I invite each and every one of you to invite your friends and well-wishers, your siblings, even your enemies. Invite them, that the hour has come for us to listen to the gospel of liberation, because this is a revolutionary radio. Our enemies are not relenting, and therefore we will neither relent. That is what is called strong freedom fighting. Sorry, my phone just fell off. Therefore, we must continue in the dissemination of the gospel of liberation, so that mankind will be free. What we are doing is not only for the indigenous people of Biafra, it's not only for Biafrans, but for every other indigenous peoples that has been subjugated in Nigeria. Because what we are seeing today is confirming what we have been saying, that Nigeria was created and handed over to the caliphate. It is tilting. Nigeria is tilting towards the caliphate. And that is why We continue maintaining that the Sokoto Caliphate must be destroyed. That the Sokoto Caliphate must be destroyed. This is our stand. Without it, Nigeria will continue feeding towards negativity. That is it. There are forces, the forces of the caliphate that is there drawing Nigeria to the other side, but many people didn't understand. Many people don't understand it, but we do. That is why today we will continue in our series of the Sokoto Caliphate manipulations. The Sokoto Caliphate manipulations. Do not forget that today is 19th November 2025, Tatabo Bochafo. Being Wednesday, Obochafo, 19th November. Therefore, we must continue. And do not forget that we are watching. It is tomorrow that they gave it a date for the ruling on our leaders' case, but we are watching them. This their charade that they call court proceedings in Nigeria. We are watching them. Without taking time, I am here with my comrade Mazi. Please, you make your introductory statement before we enter into the business of the day. Mazi, can you hear me, please?
Loud and clear, Mazi Jonathan.
There we
Thank you for having me here. Thank you very much, and thank you, Biafrans. Like you rightly say, my name is Mazi Obasi, and today we shall be, discussing as usual a very important subject that is very pivotal to our freedom as a people. When I say our freedom, I'm talking about every single indigenous people as a group currently entrapped in the construction called Nigeria. This message of freedom, this time around, we are looking at the foundation of the chain that has been on the neck of so many indigenous people. And this chain goes beyond just the indigenous people in the north. It cuts across the southwest, as you may want to call it, the south. And we are going to examine step by step how this things has been done, under which guise it was carried out, and who are the ultimate beneficiary of this continuous subjugation. We are going to dissect them and bring these masquerades out of the shadows, and you will decide if they need to be destroyed or not. And I can assure you that after you have heard the truth, you do not need anybody to tell you that the only solution is to destroy those institutions that have held you captive for the sole interest of one single tribe, one single ethnicity that are completely foreign to Nigeria. Completely foreign. They cannot find any trace of their indigenship to be anywhere within the territory referred to today as Nigeria. Not even a shadow of it. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for being here, for deciding to always tune in. Thank you very much. And I will hand over the mic again to Mazi Jonathan, and we'll continue from there.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Thank you very much. And we must continue. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, as you may know, we are here live and direct today. As you may know, it's the 19th day of November 2025, Tatabo Obochi Afo. Therefore, we are live and direct with Mazi Obasi. As I have said before, we will continue on the topic of the Sokoto Caliphate manipulations, because what is going on in Nigeria, it is an agenda, a program. It is not something that fell down from the sky or fell down from the blue, out of a blue. No, it is a program, an agenda that has been there waiting for it to mature, and the gradual process. That is why I continue playing the clip of this man, Olawumi. Please, I continue playing it because if Nigeria is a country normally, if the caliphate, I mean, if Nigeria is not under the control of the caliphate, let me tell you something. This man, Kunle Olawumi, his revelations, he would have been invited in order to clarify, because he made an open challenge. He didn't say, he was not afraid. Why saying it? Therefore, let me replay some of his excerpts again on the clip. Please listen.
Security architectures at the defense headquarters. But every Friday, the gate of defense headquarters is thrown wide open for everybody to come in and do Jumat. That is the
when you see in a national, supposedly highly secured structure like the Nigerian Defense Academy, every Friday the gates are widely thrown open for people to come and pray in the mosque from outside, and nothing happens. It is another. It has been another that is going on. It is from the high places. So the problem is religion. Now continue listening.
time the terrorists have the time to profile our security environment.
Has that always been the case?
It has always been the case. I've served the military intelligence for the past 35 years. It has always been the case. Our problem is religion.
Our problem is religion. This man said it. When some people are saying that no, they are not targeting, there is no Christian genocide. They are not, the problem that is happening is religion. You that is thinking that Nigeria is just like that for everybody, you are naive, you are ignorant. There are people that are there in order to, to push Nigeria, to grab Nigeria, and they have grabbed Nigeria. Nigeria is in the hands of these people. He said the problem is religion
and socio-cultural. I mean, people will expect me to come here and start talking about kinetics, about operation and so on. I've been an operational commander all my life. I've commanded warships, I've commanded troops, I've commanded men outside Nigeria and so on. But I'm not going to come to your station. And we came to a conclusion after several arguments. The arguments were three. To identify the center of gravity of the problem, one group said it is the fighters, the Boko Haram fighters are the center of gravity, so we should go after them. Another group said the center of gravity of Boko Haram is Abubakar Shekau. So if you go after Abubakar Shekau, then the problem of Boko Haram will be solved. I took exception to the group. I said that is not the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram insurgency that we were having between that 2012 and 2017. And General Lanshaken asked me, allow me, why are you giving problem? What is the problem? Give us the answer. And I told General Shin that if I tell you the answer, you're not going to be able to solve the problem. He said, what is the problem? I said, the center of gravity of Boko Haram and insurgency in Nigeria are the sponsors of that program.
The sponsors
It was beyond us.
of that program. He said, as a high-ranking military officer and officials, security officials, it is beyond them. The problem is political. The problem is ideology. The problem is religion from the top officers.
Job we need to do is kinetics. Fight, destroy places, resolve issues. Yep. But we cannot resolve issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who?
I was in the military intelligence. Okay. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that could have resolved that problem. Because
he said they know. The military intelligence, the NIA, Nigerian Intelligence Agency, they know the sponsor, the hierarchy, the cause of the problems you are seeing today, that they are trying to whitewash, launder the image. There is no Christian genocide. If there is, the problem of what is going on in Nigeria is Islamic, is religion, then why are they beating about the bush that there is no Christian genocide? If, they have Boko Haram, which is another name for Nigerian Taliban. That is the name, Boko Haram, Jama'atu al-Sunnah Dawati wal al-Jihad, for the continuation, calling for the Sunni people, for the callings and jihad. That is the Nigerian Taliban. Now, do you think that they will like Christians? Do you think that they love Christians to reside side by side with them? Those other Muslims that are being targeted, that are being killed, not targeted, these are also victims that we are yesterday laughing, happy, when these terrorists were killing, targeting Christians. They were happy that, they are purging their land, Nigeria, of Christianity. Later, when these people, have no more Christians to kill, when they have killed, committed genocides in the villages, in the communities, and the remaining run away, abandon their houses, their communities, now they will turn on the non-Fulani. This is what is going on. This man defined it clearly. He said the problem, what is happening in Nigeria, is religion. And that is why you see, you saw what happened, how the Nigerian Foreign Secretary, the Foreign Affairs Minister, Tuko, what is his name? Tuga, Abi, how he mesmerized himself with in a program. he wasn't coherent. When somebody is lying, So, all these things, they are going around lobbying, spending money, bribing countries. Today, they have come in another dimension. I don't know, before I enter into that, Mazi, I don't know whether you have anything to say before we continue, please.
As you continue.
Okay. So, these people, they are multidimensional. Do you see the caliphate, the Sokoto caliphate? They know that a time like this will come. And that is why they have deployed all their arsenals in order to defend themselves, in order to, they rose up sentiments from all corners using one country, Nigeria, sovereignty of Nigeria, different things in order to defend the Fulanization policy agenda by the Sokoto Caliphate. These are their manipulations. This is what they are doing. Now, do you remember they have been going around saying that IPOB is behind the report by Inter-Society and other human rights, international human rights, bona fide human rights organizations that gave the validated report of what is going on. Do you remember? But do you know that today, the Guardian, do you know what they are doing today? They are now trying another, another strategy. Listen, that is why there is a news headline today, being 19th November, in the Guardian. It says, Biafra lobby network fueling Christian genocide campaign in United States. Listen, and inside it, in the news, in the newspaper, in the news, they now use the photo, bold photo of a Ekperima, their agent, on this headline. They are heading somewhere. They are heading. I say, any leg they bring out, we know. We know them. We break it. We know. They have tried raising the sentiment of, no, it is Igbo issue. It is IPOB that is driving this. They know that they have it doesn't hold any water. Because IPOB, we are a peaceful self-determination movement. We are legitimate all over the world. They proscribed us in Nigeria, IPOB in Nigeria, but illegally. You understand? Which has been even removed by the Nigerian courts even. But they don't care. The Nigerian government don't care. Now, you know what? They now bring this Ekperima again into the arena. I want you to, Tontinala, please. Listen attentively. The strategy they are changing now, because they know that what they are doing with IPOB, what they are talking with IPOB, the international community is laughing at them. Now, they said in today's news headline of 19th November 2025, Biafra lobby network fueling Christian genocide or genocide campaign in US. Now, they use Ekperima's photo. Listen, let me read a bit. He said, documents obtained from the United States Department of Justice, DOJ, reveal that a coalition of pro-Biafra groups is behind the campaign of the Christian genocide in Nigeria, leading President Donald Trump to declare Nigeria a country of particular concern, CPC. Okay. You see, what these people are doing, they try to rubbish the messenger by raising sentiments. They are not arguing about the validity of the issue. That is why when the foreign minister, Nigerian foreign minister, was asked, this man, what is the name of this interviewer, this man in the program? He said, he gave him the statistics, official statistics of how many Christian churches, how many Christians and Christian churches that have been, destroyed. Christians killed, Christian churches destroyed. He gave him the statistics according to validated statistics. But do you know what? Piers Morgan, in Piers Morgan's Uncensored program, it's on YouTube. Piers Morgan gave him the details, the exact numbers, according to official data from different groups. Now, the man said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian Foreign Secretary. He said, no, I mean the Nigerian He said, no, it is not this. This is a lie. It is not this number. Now the P.S. Morgan asked him, how many Christians have been killed from 2009? You are disputing this number, or you give us your official number. He cannot. He talk up, talk down. When that Iranian Canadian was invited into he disgraced him. He said even by looking at him, he cannot make eye contact. You know that he's a lie. He's lying. Look at how a country's foreign secretary was disgraced on television. Nigeria is a disgraced country, honestly. Go to YouTube and listen to it. The lady disgraced him direct. He said, look at him. He started attacking a lady. Look at a country's foreign secretary attacking individual. Instead of bringing facts and figures, he cannot. Because you know that they are liars from the pit of hell. Nigeria no longer have no single, legitimacy in the world. He started attacking a country's foreign secretary. Started attacking the lady on A. Shamelessly attacking the lady on A. Instead of, he's supposed to be a diplomat. Because a foreign secretary, a minister of foreign affairs, he's a secretary. I mean, he's a diplomat. He should be. Instead of, quietly, cool-headedly bringing his facts and figures, he started attacking the girl. Right? It shows you how they are. It shows you how they behave. Because what is going on in Nigeria, the insecurity, the massacre, the genocide, the Christian genocide that is going on in Nigeria, it is orchestrated by them. It is the Sokoto Caliphate. And they are defending it. And that is, today, they are rallying around other people to help them defend the Sokoto Caliphate. Using Nigeria, defend their country. It is the same way they rallied every other indigenous people in 1967. So defend Nigeria. You are fighting for Nigeria. To fight Biafrans that wants to get away and, develop as we can in our own pace. That will even lead to competition. After using them willing tools, they call them, all other indigenous people in Nigeria, after using them today, they are regretting. They are killing, massacring everybody. The Fulani terrorists are massacring everybody. That is the way they rule. Now, let me go back to what I was reading. Now, they said, the headline I read before, it says, Biafra lobby network fueling Christian genocide campaign in the United States. Okay, now let me continue reading. United States Senator Ted Cruz recently accused the federal government of enabling a massacre against the Christian population in the country. Cruz, in a video posted on X, said, there is no country on earth where Christians are more persecuted than Nigeria. Which is true. According to him, Boko Haram and radical Islamic extremists have murdered over 50,000 Christians since 2009 and have destroyed more than 20,000 churches and schools. Meanwhile, the document submitted under the United Agents Registration Act, FARA, link the campaign to a group called the United States of Biafra, which includes the Biafra Republic government in exile and the Biafra de facto government in the homeland. Look, they have twisted. Before it is IPOB. Oh, it's IPOB. Now they have. I will tell you why they are doing what they are doing. These people, we know them. They think they are. You see the Sokoto Caliphate. They thought that they are smart, but we are 7 steps ahead of them. Now, he said the DOJ requires foreign political actors to register under FARA to ensure transparency about their influence efforts. The filing is one of the pieces of evidence so far that diaspora-driven separatist advocacy, much of it amplified on social media, is being organized, funded, and positioned as a foreign policy issue within the United States. Do you know why now they are using Ekperima? Do you know? Because now, where they are heading, they are now trying to say, okay, no. If we continue saying IPOB is legitimate everywhere. They are a peaceful organization. They are registered everywhere. But this other group, their leader, the leader of Biafra in exile, the prime minister, which is Ekperima, their agent, is now in jail, serving jail term for terrorism. So they want to now target to him that this thing that is going, say, Christian genocide, is lobbied. The report is from Ekperima. So that, you know, the United States congressmen and women, we look at it, okay, if it is so, which means Ekperima is a terrorist himself, because he is convicted of terrorism. So any group is leading is a terrorist group. So there is no legitimacy on it. Do you see where they are heading? These people. Nigeria. When a country's foreign minister, foreign secretary, or minister of foreign affairs will be engaged, they are attacking an individual that is telling him the truth. Oh, Nigeria. Nigeria is Trump knows Nigeria very well. He is a disgraced country. They continue showcasing their disgrace. Now, let me continue reading, because this is so funny. I'm telling you. Now, the filing is one of the pieces of evidence so far that diaspora-driven separatist advocacy, much of it amplified on social media, is being organized. Okay, I've read it. BRGIE, that is Biggie. Yes. Let me. Okay. Biafra Republic Government in Exile, that is Biggie. Biggie's representative, Moran Global Strategies, under the leadership of former U.S. Congressman Jim Moran, has developed ties with Cruz office. Okay, the disclosure reviewed by the Guardian shows that representatives of both entities signed a joint declaration in Lahti, Finland, on December 2nd, 2024, asserting that Nigeria is engaged in a genocidal onslaught against Biafrans and Christians. Listen, you see what they are doing. That is why they set up this guy, Ekperima, in order to rubbish what we are doing, the legitimate struggle for self-determination. They set up parallel in order to use them whenever the time comes. And for them, the time is now. That is why they are going into details. Oh, this and that this person, to let the world and the US understand that, look, the people you are, this report you are going with, the people that furnish it to you is a terrorist organization. Their leader is in Finnish prison, serving 6 years sentence. Do you see that? That is why, whenever, something important and legitimate is established, in order to champion maybe liberation or a movement, legitimate movement of a people, the enemies will go and fake it. I have said it here, I think last time. I give example of Neo-Black movement of Nigeria, NBM of Nigeria. Do you know that? This is what they call today Black X. Do you know that movement? Yeah, I've preached it here the other day, I think last week. That movement was a legitimate movement. They call it New Black Movement of Nigeria, formed in 1977 in order to educate people, in order to promote African cultures, to promote Pan-Africanism, for mental emancipation, teaching, education of Africans. The colonizers' secret service, they formed the parallel. They hijacked it in order to rubbish the movement. That is why today people don't know about the new black movement of Nigeria. New black movement of Nigeria. What they know is a black axe. Oh, it's a cultist movement. It's a cultism. It was formed 1977 in University of Benin for promoting, after the Festival of Art and Culture that was held in Nigeria, this black Pan-Africanism started rising. So they formed it in order to continue pushing for African liberation. New black movement. That is why when you look at their logo, it is two hands, chained hands, that one axe on the center broke the chain. Today they have hijacked that movement and rubbished it. Today everybody know Black X IA as a secret society that kills, and that is it. For killing, destruction of lives, killing people. That is how things work. So what they wanted to do in IPOB is exactly what they did to Black X, this new black movement. They wanted to use Ekperima in order to hijack IPOB, rubbish it, so that no more we no longer have no single legitimacy, for goodness sake. This is what this is why they are bringing a Ekperima issue now. So, he is in charge of labeling Nigeria, Christian genocide in Nigeria, so that they will check the source and say, if it's like that now, this man is a convicted terrorist, so there's no need. That is exactly what they want to do. You see that? And that is why they explain the lies and lies in the body of the movement. Nigeria is a country. They have power. They don't mind, even all those people they talk about a lobbying group, they don't mind paying them huge sums of money. Say, yes, agree that you have a contact with this person for a long time. They have paid you. Nigeria is a country, for goodness sake. So they have powers to do some certain things. So do not be perturbed. You should ask all these liars. The caliphate is this. Is the police security in Nigeria, is it religious or not? Does it have a religious dimension? I heard when they asked that Nigerian foreign secretary, I will not insult him because he's a foreign minister of a country, but he's a zero. When they asked him that, look, okay, you don't know the number of Christians, he said no, killed. He said no, in Nigeria we don't identify people as with their religion. I laugh. I say, look at this man. Look at this man lying to the whole world. Is that lady that fit him? The lady, gave him what needed to be given to him. I'm telling you, that's an Iranian Canadian. He said, no, they are lying. You are lying. He told you, say, you are a liar. You are lying. He's a liar. He cannot make eye contact with you. As once you see somebody speaking, he's a lying. He's lying. You want to defend something he don't even know how to defend. Something that is glaring. Why then is there Boko Haram? Jihadism is about religion. This man said it. Along with me. He said it. Let me put. He said that Nigerian government don't want to solve this issue. Since 5 years, this man made these revelations. He said the Nigerian government don't want to solve the issue because they are orchestrating it. The caliphate have hijacked the Nigerian government seat of power in order because that is their agenda. It is an agenda that has been there right from the creation, or even before the creation of Nigeria, for your information. That is why you see that madman, Sheikh Gumi. You know, I told you that Sheikh Gumi, his father was a grand Qadi during what do you call him? Ahmad Bello time, from 1962 to 1967. Sheikh Babaka Gumi is the father of this mad man now, Sheikh Gumi, that is moved. He's a terrorist. His father, check about his father, Sheikh Babaka Gumi. He will tell you all you need to know. He was a grand Qadi from 1962 to 1966 or 1967 in Nigeria. The grand Qadi with Ahmad Bello. That is who he was. I think he died in 1994, 1996. You know, he was a radical Islamist. He changed many. He introduced. He put in more radicalism, Fulani radicalism in Islam in Nigeria. The father of this madman. So it's not something that started today. And do you know what? They used to be in the Nigerian military. Sheikh Gumi, you are seeing today, the son. He retired as a captain in the Nigerian military. You see that? And his son today is also, he graduated from Nigerian Defense Academy. Do you see? These are the people that have hijacked Nigeria. This man, Olawumi, he said they know the sponsors of Boko Haram. The Nigerian government knows.
He's passionate. He wanted to solve the problem. Within 6 months, we solved the problem. I remember I have to go to Angola to go and bring Herioka, and nobody in Nigeria knew what we did. All we know is that since 27, 28 that we conducted our operation under Yaradua, Niger Delta issue has remained manageable. This government does not want to resolve this problem. They are escalating it because of tribal and religious sentiment.
So when you say this government does not want to resolve it, don't forget the same government has purchased. In fact, they're going to induct the Sopeto Kanu jet because of, the insecurity situation. They have, the president has had to change guards, as it were, as a result of people's clamor. I imagine if that was not in the thinking, why would you go that length to make some of the, some of the pronouncements, the meetings that have happened, the purchase, the change of guard and the rest? Why would they do all that if they don't want to solve this?
Because that is not the solution. What you just mentioned is not the solution.
Do you see what this man is saying? He said this categorically, that the Nigerian government, that is the Sokoto Caliphate, because it's in their hand. Remember, I was saying this during the Buhari regime, that they don't want to solve, they know how to solve this problem, but they don't want to solve it. Because that is their plan. It is an agenda. So every other thing they are doing, buying to Kanu jet, give us military equipment, give Nigeria military, buy more equipment. They are just deceiving the population, deceiving the international community that they are fighting terrorism, whereas they are the terrorists. Don't you see? Yesterday or 2 days ago, a brigadier general was murdered, was killed with his commander, with many soldiers, and countless Nigerian military equipments carted away by these terrorists. What do you think that is going on? For goodness sake, Nigerians, reason. They continue to, as they are moving around, no, there is no Christian genocide. We need equipment to fight terrorists. We need American aid. Just give us the equipment. Any equipment America gives to them, they will surrender it to the terrorists. Direct. America don't need to give Nigeria any military equipment, for goodness sake. They don't need to. They don't need to. Because what they are doing, they are arming, they are directly arming, Nigeria is directly arming directly arming the terrorists, because it is the agenda. That is the Sokoto Caliphate. They are using other ethnicities, other indigenous population, other politicians as Jara, rally them round in order, willing tools. You must do what? You must support. Oh, don't allow Trump to come and invade your country. Do you see that? But Fulani invasion of Nigeria is allowed. Do you see how hypocritical they are? So what I'm saying in this rubbish they are writing, he said self-identified Biafrans in the diaspora, including Simon Ekpa, a Finnish citizen, and the group's prime minister are among the signatories. Ekpa has since been jailed for 6 years in Finland on multiple charges, including participation in the activities of a terrorist organization, incitement to commit crimes for terrorist groups, for terrorist purposes, aggravated tax fraud, and the violations of the Lawyers Act. Do you see that? That is why they are now, they remember, they say, okay, let us use our agent in order to downgrade what the reality that is facing us. You know, these people, caliphate, they know how to manipulate. They know they are manipulators. There is one Yoruba writer, famous writer of the 20th century, I've forgotten his name. He called the Fulani Caliphate. He said they are the smartest political juggernauts of the 20th century. That time, I'm telling you, they know how to manipulate. You see, that is what I'm saying. Why they bring Ekpa in this issue now is in order to downgrade it, because they know, okay, now he's so somebody bringing out this thing, participating in saying that Christian genocide there's Christian genocide in Nigeria. He's a terrorist, so don't take his word. He's a terrorist. He have been jailed for even terrorist activities. He has been jailed for tax of fraud. You know, this is, they go with everything, including blackmail, and that is why they said to Simon Ekpa, they set him up in order to use him against IPOB. They can never use somebody that is clean. They will use an agent they know very well, which they can control through blackmail. They know his lifestyle, they know everything, so they use him. Are you getting what I'm saying? He said other signatories in the documents are Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, a US citizen, listed as deputy prime minister. These are rubbish. They are now going, look at the country going so low. At the first time, they say it's a IPOB. They now know that, they cannot, there is nothing, they have nothing against IPOB. Now they started using another system. They say, okay, we have agents, which is now serving for as a terrorist in Finnish, not even in Nigeria. You know, had it been even any person convicted of anything in Nigeria is discredited, because Nigeria is a disgraced country. It has no legitimacy. I am telling you, Nigeria has no legitimacy, and that is why they are still keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they have no legitimacy. They don't obey their court order. They don't respect rules. So they know that. So that is why now they are using Simon Ekpa, who is in jail in a foreign land, a developed country like Finland, in order to, steer sentiments of people. Say, okay, so this one is a terrorist. But let me tell you, US Congress people, US government is not like the zoo. Fulani Caliphate, the Sokoto Caliphate, they cannot manipulate everybody. I am telling you. I know they have been using, all they have been using is mostly our oil, the oil in Biafra land. They have been using it to leverage. That's why, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. Every foreign diplomat in Nigeria, they will bribe you. They will bribe money there now. Are they using the oil money for anything? It is for this type of things. They bribe you, say, name your price. So everybody knows Nigeria. So all these things they are doing, look at whenever they go to international, on air spaces, whenever they go to media groups that are straightforward, like this of like that of Piers Morgan, not like BBC. BBC they are the same thing. BBC is a disgraced media group. I think Donald Trump is slapping them a suit of $5 billion. Let him make it $20 billion so that they will forward. He's an evil media. Eh? If any Nigerian politician goes to a media personnel like that of Piers Morgan, I am telling you, he will end up being shamed. Uncensored, being shamed. So, we need to be at alert. We need to be at alert. Yes, Mazi, please, you can come in. You can come in, please.
Thank you very much, Mazi Jonathan. You see, you mentioned something earlier on about Gumi. Please a second. Just a second.
Mazi, are you there? Okay, before Mazi, we continue. Let me also tell our people that there is another Nigerian group. They call themselves Concerned Peaceful Indigenous People of Biafra. These are is Mazi. Please go on, please go on.
All these mushroom groups always come up. So Mazi, talking about the manipulation of the caliphate. You mentioned something very interesting about the father of Ahmad Abubakar Gumi, the current chief terrorist that we have running around negotiating and asking for, settlement for the terrorists. And you also mentioned an interesting fact that he worked with Sir Ahmadu Bello, in the 1962. If you look at that relationship that they have, in 1962, when Sir Ahmadu Bello went to Mecca, actually he went for a Hajj, and during his Hajj, he met with certain Muslim leaders who advised him about the advantage that they have in Nigeria with this population, with its size, newly independent, just 2 years, and stuff like that. And they were able to, ask him to go back home and organize themselves, in the north, so that they can use the religion to consolidate power. Upon his return to the north, they formed what they call Jama'atul Nasr Islam, which is known as JNI. Jama'atul Nasr Islam was an Islamic body. It was a northern Islamic group. It was there to ensure the interests of the northern Muslims are maintained. But then here is the twist, and I want everyone who is listening, and in this case, especially our Yoruba brothers, to listen carefully. Within their constitution, the constitution of JNI, Jama'atul Nasr Islam, as at 1962, they made the Sultan of Sokoto an ex-officio member. Ex-officio member means whoever occupied that throne is not member, actually, ex-officio president, supreme leader of that Jama'atul Nasr Islam. So anybody that has ever, if the Sultan of Sokoto dies, any person that comes on that throne automatically becomes the head of Jama'atul Nasr Islam. And this went on for years, about 10, 11 years. After the Civil War, 1967, the Caliphate now realized that no, we have to make sure that our spread of influence goes to the south. In 1967, they formed what today we know as the National Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs. Again, that organization again makes the Sultan of Sokoto an ex-officio member, president. Automatic. Makes Sultan of Sokoto an ex-officio president. Today, as we speak, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, the Sultan of Sokoto, the Sultan of Sokoto, is the supreme leader of that organization, which has to do with all Muslims in Nigeria, no matter where they find themselves. Now, his deputy, again, his position is ex officio. The Shehu of Borno is an ex officio deputy. It means that for life, these two people will remain president and vice president general. President general and vice president general of that Islamic council. And then the deputy, they make it deputy south and deputy north. The deputy south is now made rotational. It means for the Fulanis in the north that are occupying that throne, their position is fixed forever. As long as that organization continues to exist, their position is fixed. And guess what? These are not even clerics. They are supposed to be emirs. They're supposed to be kings. They're supposed to be kings. But when it came to the deputy president south, they made it rotational among Islamic leaders, so that they will continue to be campaigning and be electioneering within themselves, fighting who is going to be Deputy President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, South. But for the North, they continue to maintain that influence. Now, the question I want, yes, that hegemony, thank you. Now, the question I want a Southern Muslim to ask himself or herself is, what is so special about the throne of the Sultan of Sokoto that in both Jama'atul Nasr Islam and the Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, which of course Jama'atul Nasr Islam is what they have changed into the Nigerian Supreme Council of Affairs by inviting Muslims, organizations in the Southwest, different organizations that they have then of Muslims. They invited them and said, you know what, instead of you having, organization here and there, let your organization become our member so that we can be a larger body. Please join. So the question is, what is so special about the throne of the Sultan of Sokoto. They now have a body that makes their law. That their law is constituted number according to what percentage of Muslim you have in your state. Let me put this in a simple way. If, for example, Kanu State, of course, have 100%, let's say Muslim. They are 100%, let's say for that, which they can easily claim, even though it's a lie. They are entitled to providing 10 members of that council. If Osun State have 50% of the state as Muslims, they are entitled to produce 10 people. They actually said overwhelming majority. So they will claim that Kano State has an overwhelming majority of Muslims. And as such, they will provide they will provide 10 people. With this, they have already manipulated the number, just like they have done in the National Assembly, ensuring that they claim that they have 19 states, ensuring that when it comes to Senate, they have members, such that you can't take any decision without them. When it comes to the House of Rep, they created more local government to ensure that no decision is taken. Bodies were against the Sharia law. Outright, they went ahead and because they are in majority and the Yorubas are just there to count their numbers. And they used their brother Obasanjo, make sure that they have that law as that allow them to implement the penal code. You cannot look at Nigeria in any aspect without a deep, well, woven agenda and manipulation of the Caliph. You can't. It's impossible. Anywhere you look, you will see their manipulation. And this thing is only perpetuated because the people have been convinced to think about Islam before their real identity. And I'm going to quote this man very quickly, Johannes. The other name is a problem name. This guy is an historian. He has taught in the northern Nigeria for years. He said this thing about the Fulani Caliphate, about their system. He said that their Islamization is simply ethnic conversion. Ethnic conversion. He said that this is a process of ethnic conversion, funneled political loyalty to Fulani elite. Ethnic conversion that funnels loyalty to the Fulani elite. What does this mean? This means that if a man, if you are a Nupe man, if you are a Gwari man, and you find Islam as your new faith, you are going to be convinced to make sure that you think of Islam first before you think of your identity. Should there be any fight, should there be any arms conflict, you will take up arms in support of your newfound faith against your own kings and kind who happen not to be Muslims. And in so doing, you think you are defending your faith, not knowing that what you are doing is that you are defending your loyalty to the Fulani elite, because they pressure you into thinking that if you don't do that, you are not fit to be amongst them. Hence, we forget about our identity. People forget about identity. They become part of that religion. And I keep saying this. It is not the religion that is the problem here, in my opinion. It is what is being used to do. And Fulani Caliphate are using that to ensure that the loyalty of other indigenous people that they have converted is being funneled to them. And if you talk about this ethnic conversion, you will understand what has happened to the Hausa people. They have been converted in terms of ethnicity, that they no longer, people who are indigenous no longer see themselves as who they are, but see themselves as someone else who they are meant to see, or else they are not good enough to be a Muslim. President, please.
Ndewo Mazi, Ndewo. You know, what baffles me is when the Nigerian government lies about what is happening in Nigeria is not about religion. There is no religious contour or dimension on it. I baffle. They are lying through their teeth. These are the religious bigots there. Just like you mentioned, you know, the father of this animal, Sheikh Gumi, his own father, Abubakar Muhammad Gumi, he was the Grand Qadi of the northern Nigeria from 1962 to 1967. He was a heavy radical that even he was against westernization. So what Boko Haram signifies today, or what Boko Haram is fighting today, is what he fought for, what he started, the ideology he started. I mean, the father of this Sheikh Gumi, he died 1994. No, sorry, 1992. You know, so he was against the diminution of the powers of the emirs and the rising of westernization. So he was against it. Very radical. He started different problems. So when you see Sheikh Gumi defending, he is a direct terrorist, direct, complete. When they tell you, these lies they call takia, they are telling you, Gumi, we quote for you Bible that they this and that, that they love humanity. He's Islam. And I ask, you say that the people that are these terrorists, they call this Fulani ethnic terrorists, that they call bandits, that they have no religion, and but they are using Islam. Normally, If these people are true to themselves, if they say that, okay, these people, they are, they are using our religion in a bad side, they are the people that should be at the forefront of fighting the terrorists. But no, which means all of them are in it. Mazi, is it not? They should be the people.
Absolutely.
Yes, they should be at the forefront.
Absolutely.
They should be at the forefront of fighting the terrorists. Say, stop disgracing, stop dragging our religion to the mud. They will be at the forefront fighting them, even the Muslims. But lo and behold, it is lie. They are the people that are projecting it, protecting them, giving them information. Now, when these people finish with the Christians and the non-Muslims, now they turn against even the Muslims they call moderate Muslims, that are not buying to their own particular ideology, like the Zalas, like the other. There are plenty, many of them, and they start killing themselves. That is what the Nigerian government represents. They have hijacked the caliphate, has hijacked the Nigerian government, and that is why when I see, any Igbo man or in Yoruba or other indigenous people that are supporting these people, I say, hey, these are the manipulations of the Sokoto Caliphate, and that is why I continue maintaining that the Sokoto Caliphate must be dismantled. Now let us continue listening just a bit to Kunle Olanwumi on what he said about that what they want to achieve is Islamization of Nigeria. That is the only goal. So, development, advancement you are talking is not in their dictionary. Like when I had a P2P at the first time, I call it motivational speech. How he's going to do this, build that. Didn't good Lord Jonathan build schools? Mazi, I laugh. I say, look at this man. It's these people, they don't even understand Nigeria they are in. I don't know. Didn't good Lord Jonathan try to appease the North? He used billions and billions of naira in order to build schools, state-of-the-art schools to the North. Where after everything, they rubbish him. They even rejected the school. Some, they use maybe the school as mosques to pray. Some, they use it as a center for Almajiri today. So, what are you going to? These people, they are not there for the mainstream. That is why, Nigeria is a place where there are forces, centripetal force, dragging from the center. People are not going the same place. So how can that country progress? It's impossible, practically impossible, until the caliphate colonizes everybody. Even if it takes them 1,000 years, they are ready to endure to do it. But we are there talking of development. No. Listen again to Olanwumi. Listen.
I work with them, and they're still there. The chief of naval staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in defense intelligence. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized.
People that feel that this country should be Islamized. That is what we are dealing with in Nigeria. And they have hijacked Nigeria. That is the Sokoto Caliphate. So when you see the father of this Sheikh Gumi, his father, Abubakar Gumi, he was a grand Qadi, as I said, from 1962 to 1967. He worked with Ahmad Bello, a very extremist radical. So how do you think that these people can, they want to progress with you? No. You must bend to their ideology. They convert you. You agree. You become subservient to the caliphate. And that is why we must make sure to dismantle the caliphate. That is why today when I see people talking, defending Nigeria, Trump is coming for Nigeria. Nigeria has sovereignty. And I say, okay, so Nigeria have a sovereignty where the people, the population, the citizens are being killed every day. Look at a brigadier general. How a brigadier general be killed like that by these terrorists and nothing happened? What about you and me, ordinary people? Do you think that they give a damn? Because it is an agenda. Imagine that.
Jonathan,
Yes.
imagine that for some reason that the killing of this Brigadier General Musa happened in the Biafran territory.
They will level the whole state, the whole region.
For some reason.
They will level the whole region. Mazi,
the army is busy giving ultimatum. The army is giving the terrorists ultimatum to surrender.
Mazi, does it mean that all those places they don't have villages? Does it mean where are those population they are talking about? The northern population, this and that. Mazi, it baffles me. So, general, we are murdered, and the Nigerian military were killed like farm animals. Nothing happened. Mazi, if similar thing in by commission or by omission, a Nigerian captain was killed in any part of Biafra land, Mazi, the Nigerian media first of all will be on fire. Killing of southeast. They will order all their military, everything to come and kill everybody there. Now, this is a place they want us to continue being. No, this is a place they want us to continue staying. Mazi, do you know when I watch the interview or the debate, I call it debate because we can't do nothing. I mean, the foreign secretary of Nigeria, the Nigerian foreign minister, when the lady disgraced him, he told him, look, do you see you people have beaten more than you can chew. In the Nigerian system, there is this system of in unwritten agreement in Nigeria, where because it's a multi-religious country. If the president is a Muslim, the vice president must be a Christian. If the president is a Christian, the vice must be a Muslim. But in this case, it is Muslim. Why? And do you remember that Nasir Rufai boasted with it? They boasted with it. Anyway, Mazi, I don't want to preempt because on Saturday we are going to also query Christians. Why they continue being victims without rising up. It will be on Saturday. This is what we are going to discuss on Saturday. But back to what we are saying. The Sokoto Caliphate manipulations. They know how to manipulate the population. They call them the willing tools right from beginning. Now, let me also go into maybe some other news headlines, because why I brought up this issue is for people, for listeners to understand how the caliphate, their manipulations. They have now turned that, they are using, it is what do you call it? It is Simon Ekpa. Now they will raise the argument that Simon Ekpa is a terror, is convicted of terrorism. Not even in Nigeria. Before they can say that Nigeria is illegitimate. I mean the judicial system, but in Finland. Okay. Now there is this other news headline, Mazi. I want us to talk about it. How Tinubu's defense minister Matawale maintains contact with bandit leaders, ordered them to compel communities to vote for APC. Former head. Mazi. This is today's news headline, 19th. A former senior aide to Nigeria's defense minister and the former Zamfara governor, Bello Maxwell, has accused him of continuing to maintain direct contact with notorious terrorist commanders whom he allegedly funded, equipped, and politically mobilized during his time as governor. Mazi, do you see? Now, what are we not talking, Mazi? These people, it is glaring everybody in the face that what is happening, it is completely targeted to Christians. Mazi, the other day, you said, I think yes, you said something, I think in X, that the fact that maybe I want to bomb my neighbor, and while bombing my neighbor, I mistakenly killed maybe 3 of my siblings, and also killed that one neighbor. I killed one neighbor, but I killed 3 of my siblings. Does it change the fact that I targeted the neighbor? The answer is no. The majority of the people I kill, yes, they are my siblings. But the person I targeted is my neighbor. So, all these things they are talking, why Boko Haram was formed primarily was to make sure that they cleaned first of all, the northern part of Nigeria of any other religion. Bosun said he revealed it more than 10 years ago. The Abuja Declaration. Go to Abuja Declaration. To Islamize Nigeria, to completely eradicate. He said, eradication of any non-Muslim religions in Nigeria. What do you mean by eradication? Killing, genocide, everything is involved. That is it. But Nigerians are being manipulated by the Sokoto Caliphate. Go and defend their country. If Donald Trump, anywhere they enter, America enter, this and that, they scatter everywhere. They go Libya and this and that. Remember, even the people that started Libya issue is Sarkozy, for your information. The people that started, they just involve America. It was during Obama regime. For you, I'm not defending anybody anyway, but that is the fact. Because Sarkozy, they wanted to eliminate Gaddafi because of obvious reasons. So, yes, they did it. Other places, they did it. But do not forget that America has military boot on the ground in Germany since 1945 till today. They have in Italy. They have in Japan. They have in the Middle East, Kuwait, Iraq, Bahrain. All these places, they have them. But they don't tell you this, do they? When a country is being hijacked by an ethnic group, an extremist, Islamic extremist caliphate, and killing people, subjugating people, they hijack the government, they hijack the state apparatus in order to do what they are doing. That is the reason why, Nigeria is under the colonization of the caliphate. I am telling you, Mazi, this is a fact. Now, when we talk about colonization, but we only talk about, we only think that colonization is only about when people of other color, like Europeans or white people, when they come, hey, now we say colonization. But Nigeria is under the colonization of the Fulani Caliphate, the Sokoto Caliphate. Remember, Sokoto Caliphate was established by Fulani Ottoman and Fodio, 1808, 1809. Are you getting it? So it's the Fulani Caliphate. So they have continued. Now, after that, Nigeria came into existence, amalgamation. So Britain handed Nigeria over to the Caliphate, and they made way for them to continue their colonialism, towards the whole Nigeria. This is what happened in Sudan, and this is the reason why South Sudan liberated themselves, for your information. There is no difference. This is it. Because we cannot never coexist. We should never coexist with people we don't have no single value system with them. No common value. They are talking of extremism. Do you ever have a Christian extremist group that are killing people or terrorist group? The answer is no. But they will tell you that this is not about religion. It is about it. Kunle Olawumi is part of a Nigerian high-ranking official. He said it. That it is about religion. And the Fulani Caliphate, they hijack the religion in order to be doing what they are doing. That is it. So, their manipulation, we should say no to the Sokoto Caliphate manipulation. Remember, Nigeria has no sovereignty. I am telling you. Because if Nigeria has sovereignty, the DSS boss will not come out to tell Nigerians to defend yourself. If Nigeria has a sovereignty, Irabo chief of defense, former chief of defense staff, and others will not be telling you that Nigeria is not able to defend, to man her border. If Nigeria has, sovereignty, this man, Danjuma, will not come and tell you that, defend yourself. The Nigerian military, the Nigerian security forces collude. They are now compromised. They will not be telling you that. So what is sovereignty? When they brought people to kill the citizens. What is sovereignty? Mazi, please go on in what you want to say. Mazi Obasi.
Yes, Mazi, thank you very much. I think the basic thing, what you said earlier, is that the southern part or other part are so concerned about the validation of the caliphate. You see, the caliphate, the Fulanis, they are masters of this art. They put you in such a way that you are indebted to them, or you look up to them and seek their validation. Do you know how many Yoruba Islamic groups have written and protested and published and publicly make statements demanding that there should not be hereditary selection in the National Islamic National Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs? I am hitting that place because that structure mirrors exactly what is happening in the larger area. They have complained, they have shouted, they have demanded, they have protested. Remove hereditary. There should not be hereditary position in this organization that has all of us. Why should the Sultan of Sokoto or the Shehu of Borno be a permanent president general and vice president general if this is about Islam? Why? And if it is about Islam and they care about other people, why did they not do something about it till today? They have refused to do something about that because their survival depends on it. Because their continuous manipulation depends on it. What led this Yoruba group to still have to go back again and create their own group? It is because when it comes to the quota system they use in selecting those that the government will fund their pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina, the Yoruba Muslims are not found, or they are tiny minority. They form a group, they form another group, they keep protesting. The caliphate said silently no, because that is their fortress. They have to control you to be able to maintain power. Monopoly is what they use, and religion is the vehicle in which they achieve that. Now, let me, like I always try to do here, to play a little bit of a devil advocate, but not in the entire sense of it. Let me say that no one is denying that both Muslim and Christians are being killed in Nigeria. No one is denying that. Just like you rightly mentioned earlier on. If I throw a bomb hoping that it will kill someone else and my own person becomes a victim, it's a collateral damage. It has not taken away the fact that my intention wasn't to kill my brother. And if I also even kill my brother because my brother looks like the enemy I wanted to kill, the intention remained the same. So in that vein, I'm going to say no one is saying that both Muslim and Christian are not being killed in Nigeria. We are not saying that these killings are carried out, quote and unquote, by Muslims. By that I mean, if we say by Muslim, it means we are saying that these killings are carried out by Muslims, Yoruba, by Muslim Hausa, by Muslim, some of the misled Igbo brothers who are also Muslim, or by Muslim Birums. That's not what we're saying. We are saying that the perpetrators of these killings are categorically and without any equivocation that those people who are carrying out those killings are Muslims, but Fulani Muslims. To be specific, Fulani Muslims. That this very killing is masterminded by the Caliphate, as currently led by the Sultan of Sokoto, Sheikh Gumi, and even Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, who is acting as if he's a moderate. Sanusi Lamido Sanusi is a leader of Fulani in the entire West Africa. What do you call them? Miyati Allah Katulore is just in Nigeria. Sanusi Lamido Sanusi is a leader of Fulani in those of West Africa. And this is the man who has handled the affairs of the Central Bank of Nigeria for years. Do you know how much they have funneled to these people to have prepared them to where they are today? These are the people. Sultan of Sokoto, Ahmed Abakar Gumi, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, these are the people. They are the ones who are using these people for their own end. And all these things is for the advancement of the legacy of Othman Danfodio and the enthronement of Fulani's rulership, their hegemony nationwide. And because they have mastered this art, they know that we as Africans, we are prone to consider religion first before our tribe. And as such, they are able to mask all these things they are doing under Islam. And because Islam as a religion have also provided a means by which radicalization can be easily done. So let's not make any mistake. It's an Islamic agenda that is fueled by Fulani interest. Because, I mean, Jonathan, Islam is not only in Nigeria. How many places in Africa here? Let's even forget about elsewhere. How many places in Africa or West Africa here have you heard that somebody has been stoned to death for blasphemy? How many places? I have not even heard one.
No.
Not even in North Africa.
No.
None. So if Islam is, inherently as violent as these people are behaving, everywhere in Africa should have been on fire by now. Everywhere. There are Muslims in Senegal, in Ghana, there are Muslims in Sierra Leone, there are Muslims in Liberia. But because of this crop of Fulanis we have in Nigeria, they have mastered the art of using that Islam as a religion in such a way that they are able to achieve their aim. Tell me, why will you form an organization for the past 53 years that's supposed to cater for interest of supposedly the interest of a religion, and yet for 53 years no other tribe within that religion, not single one tribe, not even a Kanuri man, not even a Gwari man, and let alone a Yoruba man, has been fit enough to be your President General? Abadallah. How can you tell me that this is not about ethnicity, and Islam is only a vehicle that is being used to convince the ignorant to forget about their tribe?
Mazi, do you know why? Let me interject a bit. The reason why, the question you ask, when you check it, yes, you know, there is Islam in other places, even in Cameroon. I mean, around Nigeria, Benin Republic, there are Muslims. Chad, Cameroon, Niger Republic. But you never hear where Sharia law, where they are, this is, you know, Fulani fundamentalists that are, the reason is this. You know, these people, they study history. They tell them history. They never forget about the manipulation of the indigenous, of the Hausa race by Ottoman Danfodio. Mazi, do you know what it means for one person only using mouth to convince a whole race to fight against each other? Mazi, do you know what? The Fulani today, they take the indigenous people from that north, mostly, and going down south, they take them for granted. They take them as empty brains. Mazi, if not, you just watch, go and watch the you know, the statements on video of Sheikh Gumi. Watch his face, watch his body language. He takes Nigerians for granted that these are people that could be manipulable. They are nothing. I am telling you, because they check. They say no. You know, the Sokoto Caliphate was the largest caliphate ever in Africa. And it was formed by one person, one, you know, one Fulani man. And they say, oh, they never encounter people so stupid, so gullible like these people. Other places they fought. When you study history, other places, other people they encounter, the Dogon of Mali, Bambara, the what others, the people in Burkina Faso, they fought. These people, they fought like hell, and they were not even able to completely manipulate them or subdue them till today. But they all of a sudden they came into the Hausa kingdom, and only preaching, one person preaching using Quran. Now he subjugated all. The Hausa people turned against themselves. He now started inviting, sent message to Futajalon and other places to start inviting the Fulani. Say, hey, we have reached the promised land. This land will be you know, the land of the Fulani forever. That is their promised land. Is the way they take it. And Fulani started coming in from the Sahel everywhere. You know? So that was the establishment of the Sokoto Caliphate, the capital. They continued expanding, continued killing, slaughtering the indigenous population till they reach even Kwara State, Ilori, coming to south. You know? So they say that the people there are gullible. They are not like the other people. And it is still playing today. Mazi, can you see? Look at what is going on. Listen, Mazi, because of a political position, an Igbo man, Chukwuma Soludo Nwambafo, opened his mouth. They start talking anyhow that look, Christians are killing Christians in the south. Oh. You know, he's not invited. He should keep quiet. But they activated him. Chukwuma, Gumi, I think, referenced him one time that look at what the governor of Anambra State said, because they manipulated them. They manipulated him. If you want to get second term, you have to talk out publicly. Say this. So people that can be so cheap, very cheap, because of political position, because of money, you can even sell your parents, say your father, say your mother, let everybody be killed for you just to have what you can get. Mazi, this type of people, are they not so easy? Mazi, this type of people are people you can manipulate, and they start killing their brothers for you. Mazi, are they not so gullible? So this is the reason why they established the Sokoto Caliphate, the capital in Sokoto, in the present day Nigeria. And then the same eye they are using on the whole indigenous population. The same eye that these people are foolish. They are fools. One, they have used them to kill Igbos. They demonize the Igbos. They use every other people to kill Igbos. And they did, saying they are saving Nigeria. So, what can't Mazi, just like, the same way the white people, they relegate black race. Black race is relegated everywhere around the world to the lowest cadre, because of obvious reasons. Because they say black people, compromise. Black people sold their brother, helped them to sell their brothers for them. That is why they brought the level of black people down to the lowest cadre till today. That is the same way the Sokoto Caliphate, the Fulani are looking.
In Nigeria. What is it? Wato idan kai Bahaushe ne kuma kai Musulmi ne, ko kai mutumin gwari ne, ko kai Baburumi ne, ko kai Bajari ne, ko kai Angas ne, ko kai Birom ne, wanda kai ka tuba ka zama Musulmi, bai kamata a ce kai za ka samu dama ka zama mabiyi ko kuma mai goyon bayan shugaban wannan Islamic Council na Najeriya, wanda shine da a ce wai shine a ana kowane bai shi dai da shi da iyalan shi har abada su ne kadai za su iya jagorancin musulmai a Najeriya. Kai ba mutum bane? Kai ba haushe da kai musulmi ne? Kai ba mutum bane? Shekara 53, shekara 1, 2, 3, 4, 53 aka kafa mata kungiyar nan ya kamata ya zama kungiya ta musulunci ne, ta musulmai a Najeriya ga baki daya. Sai aka sa aka ce wai sai sultanan Sokoto in ya mutu yau, in ya rasu yau, ko wanda zai iya ya zo ya samu shi wannan kujerar nan, shi da ci gaba ya zama shugaban musulmai a Najeriya ga baki daya. Shi ne kadai musulmai? Shi kadai ne musulmi a Najeriya? Shi kadai ne ke da abin nan ilimi? Shi kadai ne ya san yadda ke jagoranci? Shi kadai ne ya zama shugaba? In ba rainin wayo ba, a ina ake wannan? A kafa kungiya shekara 53 sai a sa wani a ce wannan kabila ne kadai shi kawai zai iya shugabancin wannan kungiyan har abada. To sauran musulmi, sauran kabilan da suke musulunci, mai amfanin su? Sauran kabilan da suke wanda su musulmai ne, mai amfanin su? Su dai jahilai ne ko? Su dai marasa ilimi ne? Idan su suka zama shugabannin ba yiwuwa ko? Mu ma dai ban maganan Yarbawa dai a gefe. Da shi shugaban musulmai da mabiyin bayan shi, Shehu Borno, dukkan su biyu duka sarakunan nan su dai ba a taɓa canja su. Menene dalilin wannan? Saboda ku ƙabilolin na asalin da kuke ƙasar Arewa, kun manta cewa a duniya, a yanayin duniya, ka shi yake zuwa farko kamun addinin ka. Ganka kai bakin fata ne, kuma ‘yan uwansu musulmai suna wurin, wanda su idonsu kama ne, hancinsu kama yake. Amma kai mai bakin fata in ya kalle ka san cewa gaskiya ne kai musulmi ne, amma kai ba dan uwan shi bane. Haka ma planuka suke yi, ba Platani ya san cewa wannan ba Platani dan uwan shi ne. Idan ba haka ba, me yasa a duk jihohin da suke arewacin Najeriya wanda a wurin akwai Hausawa me yasa dukkan su lanuka ne me yasa na wanda ya je makaranta wanda ke siyasa wanda zai iya ya yi siya takara ya ci gwamna a yau local government 44 33 cikinsu 34 cikin camominsu planuka ne me yasa kuma suna kan kwacewa har ya yi lokacin da ga baki ɗaya 44 dukkansu za su zama planuka duk abubuwan da ke faruwa na nuna cewa kowa na duba kabilan shi a farko kamin ya yi maganan religion kowa na fara duba kabilan shi musulunci ne na nan amma kabilanka shine farko in wani ya ce maka ka kashe dan uwanka wanda shi kabila ɗaya da kai ne ko kuma domin dan shiya ne ko kuma domin kai dan izala ne ya kamata ka san cewa wanda ke baka irin wannan umarnin baya son ka ba murtakiyanka ne to me ya kamata me ya kamata ka yi da makiyanka me ya kamata ka yi da wanda ke tura ka ka kashe yau Hausawa sun fara tashiwa sun fara kafa kungiya lokacin da ya zo na idan ba ku yi ba ‘ya'yanku jikokinku za su sha wahala fiye wanda kuke sha yanzu za su zama ba'i za a wulakantar a kashi I was saying to my Hausa brothers, everything is time that you must organize your and pull yourself out of this caliphate manipulation. It's very, very important. I have seen many videos recently forming a Hausa only association. That the Hausas are now forming association meant for Hausa only. Why would they be doing that? They are Hausa Fulani.
Mazi, can I just 1 second, Mazi? If they are saying this, when they had the only Fulani meeting, the whole Fulani of the whole Africa, the whole world, they met in Abuja, I think last 2 years or 3 years in Abuja. Did they invite the Hausas, Mazi? Did they remember Hausa?
Mazi, you are even going too far. You are even going too
when
far.
They met the American embassy.
Not a Fulani only association.
Okay, Mietiela. Mazi, that is the caliphate manipulation. Go on, Mazi, go on.
Fulani only organization. They're just being they are. And I am very happy that the indigenous Hausa people are waking up. I am very happy. Why will you tell anybody not to form association of their own tribe? You come and convince somebody that they do not exist as a tribe, that that Hausa is a language, not a tribe. I have not seen a language that is spoken that does not belong to a people. I don't know of that language. So if Hausa is just a language, then who owns the Hausa language? Is it Fulani? If Fulani is the one that owns the Hausa language, then what is Fulde? Fulde. Is it the Gwari man who owns Fulde? Such a manipulative set of people. Today they are scared that the Hausa man is beginning to wake up, that they are now forming Hausa assembly, that they are not coming together. You should continue coming together until you take back your land, because if you don't, in few years to come, like I said in Hausa, there will not be Hausa man anywhere. There won't be. Your children that are left are going to become slaves, worse than you are now. And they will curse you for doing nothing. They will spit on your shallow graves for being cowards. So as you are brave today and you are standing up, it is the right thing. People say we incite. If we incite you to do what is right, is it wrong? Go and see those coaches, those who coach boxers, those who coach footballers. Don't they incite their players? Don't they encourage them? If you call that incitement, yes, it is for the right reason. Why should I not incite somebody who is being oppressed to get up and fight for his freedom? Why should I not? The longer we allow this Fulani jihadists with their chief grand patron, the replica and the live, current Osman Danfodio, which is the Sultan of Sokoto, to continue to manipulate the people for their evil agenda. The longer we allow that, the longer every indigenous person is at the risk of perishing. There are states now in the Middle Belt that it would take a serious intervention for them to extricate themselves of Fulani influence or Fulani rulership, even if they have their own country tomorrow. And that is dangerous. So if you have a chance to make sure that that doesn't happen to you now, you should take it. You should take it. Please, Mazi, that's my submission.
There, Mazi, and we'll go into a few minutes break so that when we come back, we open the line. But before that, I want us to know that tomorrow, being the 28th of November, is a cut date for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Nigerian government should not take our silence as weakness. No, we are watching with every alacrity the whole charade they are doing there. We are watching. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said the marginalization of Biafrans will stop with him. We are watching with all eyes are on it. Let us watch and see what happens tomorrow. We are going to go into a few minutes break. Remember that in everything, in this Sokoto Caliphate, which is the author of all the killings, the terrorism in Nigeria, the underdevelopment of Nigeria caused by the Sokoto Caliphate must be dismantled, because they are striving very hard to rebuild the Sokoto Caliphate under Nigeria, so that Nigeria will be, they will build Nigeria in the Caliphate, Sokoto Caliphate model. Everybody will be under them. That is what they are doing, and they are achieving it. But enough is enough. Sokoto Caliphate must be dismantled. I'll go into a few minutes break so that when we come back, our line should be open. Please do not go away. We'll be right back.
1,000 Christians in Nigeria have been massacred. It's a result of decisions made by specific.
Literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Many prominent figures are now raising the issue. Senator Ted Cruz wrote since 2009, over 50,000 Christians in Nigeria have been massacred. It's a result of decisions made by specific people in specific places at specific times. The United States knows who those people are. A series of stories have followed on major US networks, including Fox, whose interviews on the subject were said to have angered President Trump. The US leader is now threatening Nigeria with, in his words, sweet military action, choosing not to rule out both airstrikes and boots on the ground. He's also threatening to withhold more than $1 billion in US aid. Just this weekend, gunmen abducted 25 girls from a high school in Nigeria. Boko Haram is being blamed. Understandably, I wanted to find out more about all of this. I expected the Nigerian government to be addressing the situation with urgency and invited the Nigerian Foreign Minister, Yusuf Tuggar, to appear on the show. There was a bit of a bad line, but I'm sure that you and many in the White House will find what followed pretty extraordinary. Well, joining me now is the Nigerian Foreign Minister, Ambassador Yusuf Tuggar. Welcome to you, Foreign Minister. I appreciate you joining Uncensored.
Thank you for having me, Piers.
So a simple question. If somewhere between 50 to 100,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria since 2009, depending on which bit of data you want to take up, and 18,000 Christian churches have been destroyed, why isn't it, as some people are claiming, a genocide against Christians in Nigeria?
Well, to begin with, those figures are completely and totally inaccurate and false. And many in the media have examined them, they've fact-checked them. So they come from Inter-Society and Open Doors, and they've been shown to be totally inaccurate. What we have in Nigeria is a multi-ethnic, multi-tribal, multi-religious country of 230 million people. Our nation-building project is not an easy one. We have suffered from the effects of things that we have no control over, exogenous factors such as the breaking up of the Libyan state, the killing of Gaddafi, the proliferation of weapons and fighters that have cascaded down to the northern fringes of Nigeria and beyond, and have affected the entire region. The failure of the EU Sahel strategy over the years. These are all things that we are suffering the effects of. And we do have Boko Haram in the Lake Chad region that affects not just Nigeria, but 3 other countries, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, that we've been contending with through the multinational joint task force that allows the troops of the countries in the region to pursue the terrorists. 50,000 insurgents and people that were caught in the region of the insurgency having surrendered, and we were in the course of processing them, and some were being rehabilitated, others were being processed through the legal system when Niger had to pull out because of the failure of the EU Sahel strategy and the military coup that was experienced in Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali.
Look, you've made it clear that the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law is a non-governmental organization that monitors and tracks human rights abuses across Nigeria. In its report in August, it said jihadist groups, including Boko Haram and ISIS in Nigeria, had killed over 100,000 Christians in the last 16 years. It also noted that 60,000 moderate Muslims have been killed in that period too. Now, I guess my obvious question to you is, if it's not 100,000, then how many Christians have been murdered since 2009? And if it's not 18,000 Christian churches that have been destroyed, how many is it?
We in Nigeria have Christians, we have Muslims, we have atheists, we have animists, and when we're counting death tolls, we don't necessarily go by religion, and quite often it's difficult to even identify what religion an individual that has just lost their lives belongs to. And what we are concerned about is that they are Nigerians first and foremost. And we've seen these sort of agitations by faith-based organizations that is a prelude to the breaking up, to the dismemberment of countries. We've seen it in Sudan. We know this playbook. It's happened. There were agitations to create South Sudan, which was expected to be a predominantly Christian country, separate from North Sudan, which is meant to be a Muslim country. Now we have a situation where there's fighting, continuous fighting in South Sudan. There's another round about to kick off. The same thing in the North Sudan.
Okay, but let me interrupt.
Muslim fighting each other. So we don't want to be the next Sudan. We will not allow ourselves to be the next Sudan.
No, I understand
that. Where are the faith-based groups that were agitating and to be dismembered? They're no longer there to fix Sudan.
Okay.
Not North, not South.
Okay.
It's Nigeria as a member of the Peace Council of the African
Let me jump in if I may.
With the heavy lifting.
Foreign Minister, if I may, I'd like to jump in if I may, because you do seem to be avoiding my questions. You know, you don't seem to know how many Christians have been murdered, which I find surprising.
I'm not.
Well, you haven't given me any. You've told me you don't know. Well, just with respect, sir, you have not given.
Nigerians. So
no, I know what you said.
They're not necessarily.
I understand.
Same as those that.
But you are, yes. But what you're saying, if you could let me speak, what you're saying is that you dispute the numbers of Christians that have been reported to have been killed, but you have no idea how many Christians have been killed. What we surely can agree on is how many Christian churches have been destroyed. Do you know how many?
Yes, I do.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, they can moment, if you will, because joining me now is the former Canadian MP Goldie Gamari, host of the Goldie Show, who has spoken out frequently at what she says is a genocide against Christians in Nigeria. Goldie Gamari, welcome to Uncensored. What is your response to the Foreign Minister of Nigeria, who says there is no genocide? The numbers of those who've been killed, number of churches attacked, has been wildly exaggerated?
Well, first of all, Pierce, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. You know, Pierce, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it probably is a duck. There is a reason that we're seeing these Islamic militants going around and yelling Allahu Akbar. That's not by coincidence. There's a reason that they are attacking Christians on Christmas Eve. Let's not forget that back in 2014, almost 300 Christian schoolgirls were kidnapped by these Islamic militants. Always happens.
Well, I don't think that the foreign minister was denying that bad things have been happening. He's just denying that it constitutes a genocide, and that the numbers of
course, because his government is a part of it.
Of murders of Christians.
I think his government is complicit. Right now, you have an Islamist government in Nigeria. One of the things that he didn't mention to you is that typically it's been a constitutional convention in Nigeria that if the prime minister is Muslim, then if the president is Muslim, then the vice president is Christian. If the president is Christian, then the vice president is Muslim. This is intended to have a proper representation of the Nigerian population. Right now, you have a Muslim president, and then they decided to choose a Muslim vice president, and so there's actually no Christian representation in the Islamist government. By the way, this is a government that is working closely behind the scenes with the Islamic Republic of Iran. You should ask the foreign minister why Nigerian school children are holding pictures of the Ayatollah, who is a brutal dictator and is murdering my people in Iran. People need to look into the linkages between the current Nigerian government and the Islamic Republic of Iran. I was a politician for 7 years, Pierce, and I can tell when someone is lying and avoiding the truth. That's exactly what this foreign minister is doing, and shame on him for lying.
Foreign Minister, your response to that?
With all due respect to the lady, I'm sorry, I forget her name. She has already exposed her ignorance and lack of knowledge about Nigeria, and it's easy for her to sit thousands of miles away and play games with people's lives. These are real
I'm not the
lives
one playing games with people's lives. 7,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. 7,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. Who's playing games with people's lives?
Does not even know whether Nigeria has a president or a prime minister. You can see how she's waffling, she's stumbling. But this is typical of...
I think you're showing your own ignorance. The fact that you're not able to actually counter what I'm saying, and instead you're going after these things that are irrelevant, that just shows how ignorant you are.
Saber rattling, trade in saber rattling, it is typical. You can see she's exposing herself. She doesn't even know the country that she's trying to start a crusade on, and drawing comparisons with Gaza. You know, it's clear what she's trying to do. We have a constitution that has... Go and read my constitution before you even try to have a discussion with me. Look up sections 10, 38, and 42 of our constitution. There is federal character enshrined in our constitution. It's part and parcel of it. And the priority is the region where you come from, because we don't identify ourselves as Muslims and Christians in Nigeria. We identify ourselves from regions, geopolitical regions.
Christians disagree.
Place where we come from, and
but do you accept? All right, Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister, let me jump in. Let me jump in. Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister, do you? Foreign Minister, if I may. Foreign Minister, if I may, Foreign Minister, do you accept that there is a big problem? You know, we can quibble over precise numbers, but you've already said by your own numbers, over 100 Christian churches have been attacked. You won't commit to how many Christians have been killed. I think you're slightly hiding behind the fact you don't know what all their religion was. But you must know how many people have been killed.
I can give you figures. I can give you figures. You did not ask. You did not ask me. I can give you figures of those that lost their lives when.
How many Christians have been murdered in Nigeria since 2009?
Since over the last 5 years, I can categorically tell you that 177 have been killed. And it does not mean that the killing...
But you said to me... You said to me earlier... You said to me earlier you did... Yeah, but hang on. Foreign Minister, with respect...
Muslim. They are not necessarily Muslim.
Foreign Minister...
To understand that.
Foreign Minister, with respect, earlier when I asked you that question, you said you didn't know the number because many of the people who've been killed, you didn't know what religion they were. So which is it?
Yes, so I am telling you, number killed when churches were attacked. I told you the number of the churches that were attacked.
Now, how many Christians? You misunderstood my question. How many? I want to know. I want to know. Yes, but Foreign Minister, you have had United States senators like Ted Cruz saying publicly that at least 50,000 Christians have been murdered since 2009. If you're saying that number is wildly exaggerated, what is the number?
I keep giving you the numbers, but clearly, you know, you are not.
You're not. You're giving me the numbers since in the last 5 years.
Accept the numbers or even listen to what I'm saying. 102, 177, number injured 98, number abducted 7. Okay, so we are not hiding any facts. But as I said, we don't go about trying to identify a Nigerian's faith when they've lost their lives. That is
but
not.
do you
That
condemn?
Is not what Nigeria
do you condemn, Foreign Minister? Foreign Minister, do you condemn? The attacks and the murder on Christians by Islamist groups in Nigeria?
Absolutely, 100%. I lost my father-in-law to an attack by an Islamic terrorist group, Boko Haram. So I myself am a victim. I've lost family members to attacks. And they were Muslims. But it doesn't matter whether they're Muslim or Christian, because their aim is to kill, to maim, so that they would achieve their objectives. And the number one enemy of Boko Haram is not a Christian. It is a Muslim who does not subscribe to their own brand of Islam.
Okay, I mean, Goldie Gamari, let me bring you back in there. I mean, there's no doubt that tens of thousands of moderate Muslims have also been murdered by Islamists. We can argue, till the cows come home, frankly, about what the exact numbers are, but clearly a lot of Christian churches have been attacked. So have a lot of mosques, where it is believed that the people who are, observing their faith there are too moderate for the Islamists. So it seems like the Islamist groups like Boko Haram, like ISIS, are targeting pretty much anybody that they don't agree with, be that moderate Muslims or Christians. Is this not, as the Foreign Minister is putting forward, a case of it's not just Christians being targeted and persecuted, it's also moderate Muslims, and that there's a general wider problem with Islamist terrorism?
Well, there's definitely a problem with Islamist terrorism, but just because Muslims are being murdered, it does not negate the fact that there is a targeted ethnic cleansing of Christian Nigerians. One does not negate the other. What we can conclude from this is that there is definitely an Islamist problem. Now, one thing that the Nigerian minister is purposely forgetting to put out there is that it's not just Boko Haram, it's also the Fulani militants. Not a lot of people know about the Fulani militants. The Fulani Islamists are also the ones who are generally targeting the Christian Nigerians, especially in the Plateau Belt. And I've had several Nigerian Christians come on and speak about this. In fact, I have seen videos where you have the Fulani militants, on their motorcycles with machetes. They're driving through various towns, and you have the Nigerian military who's supposed to prevent them from going. They're getting orders to stand down and allow the Fulani militants to go through. Again, Pierce, the loss of life is horrible. But as you can tell from the minister, he's avoiding questions. He's avoiding eye contact. Instead of actually answering the questions, he's focusing more on trying to attack me and trying to, go after me because I'm not as familiar with the Constitution. I don't need to be familiar with the Constitution of Nigeria to understand that, over 50,000 Christians have been murdered since 2009. I don't have to be familiar with the Constitution of Nigeria to know that when someone yells Allahu Akbar before they massacre 200 Christians and burn Christian churches, that's not just banditry, that's jihad. And I think the reason that the foreign minister does not want to admit this is because they are somehow complicit in this. And, he is purposely saying that he is willfully ignorant, because how could the Nigerian government not know if those people who have been murdered are Christian or Muslim? The reason that he's avoiding saying that is because if they actually put out formal numbers about the numbers of Christians targeted and murdered, then they will have to admit that there is a genocide. They don't want to admit that there's a genocide, but that's exactly what's happening, and I'm glad President Trump and others are calling it out.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name is Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olo province of Biafra. Now we are here live and direct with Mazi Obasi. And today we are continuing on the ongoing series of the Sokoto Caliphate manipulations. What you are hearing or what we are listening to is the disgrace by the Nigerian foreign minister. You see him disgracing himself, mumbling, attacking somebody instead of going through the facts. That is how Nigeria is a disgraced country. That is how disgraceful Nigeria remains. You know, and that is how they are. You cannot defend Nigeria without being foolish, sounding foolish. That is why, Nigerians, they don't like to come out to debate because there is no way you can defend Nigeria without being stupid. There's not. What are you going to defend? This they are telling him facts and figures. The number of people killed, and they asked him. He said, "No, the number since 5 years ago is 107. I've been saying 170. 170 Christians. Is it the one they killed there before yesterday in Plateau, in Benue? Only one time. Come on, man. That is how Nigeria is. You cannot defend Nigeria without stuttering, without being foolish. That is a known fact because Nigeria does not make sense. That is how they are, and they are showing their disgrace. They are showing their disgrace. What matters to them, how they move on, is bribery, lobbying through bribery. Or how much you go take, just take them. They don't make sense. That is it. Therefore, our lines are now opened. Our WhatsApp line, our WhatsApp and Signal line remains +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. I repeat once again, +61 405 142 547. You can call us now and give us your view on the issue treated. Or somebody called, but after he called back, I mean, he was off. I have a caller also on WhatsApp. Please, you can also call on Signal. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? You are the first caller. Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Please go on. You are the first caller. There were Mazi. Please go on. Go on. Go on.
Very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm calling from Island, Nnamdi speaking. I was boiling hearing that man. I was boiling to the more than 100 degrees Celsius. Because they asked him a simple question: how many Christians are killed in Nigeria? The man even reduced it to 5 years. This man said 102. The people that was even burnt, that I think that very dark man, or what is his name, the one that he went this year, it was 200 and something that they burnt the food store. The food store, they burnt people inside the food store, burnt children. You can see the skeleton, you can see the bones. It's more than 200, just an attack, more than almost 300 people. That is what this man said. Is 100 people for 5 years, and he says seven kidnapped, 7 kidnapped. And you see Nigerians will be hearing this man speaking on their behalf. Nigerians will not stone this man. They will not, people that have lost people, that are even staying abroad or where this man is residing, this man spits on the grave of people that died. He just, he just pour spit on cup and fill the cup and throw it on them. That's what this man did. The people that have in the north this thing should cause, Nigeria is not a country anyway. If not, this thing should have caused a revolution instantly. You don't joke with lives of people. How can you say 7? At least even if you mention 2,000, it's something is reasonable. Which one is 7? How many people have they attacked even in our land, kidnapped in our land? Is it no more than 1 million? Not to talk of the north, that is almost 10 to 15 million now. Kidnaps alone. I'm not talking about death. Kidnaps more than 10 million. Kidnapped every day. Even the one they did in Kwara. They kidnap people in Kwara, in the church inside. This one is the live video. They killed 3. What about the or massacre? They killed almost.
That one was even yesterday evening, Tuesday evening.
They killed more than 80 people
Tuesday
alone
evening.
in our war. One day, this man is coming here to talk. The one day is 100 in 5 years. What a shame! What a foolish man! What a uninformed foreign minister! The worst person I've ever seen on this earth is this man. This statement, I was just heated. If I see this man in real life, I know what I can do to him. Because some people think that we that are in abroad fighting for this thing, we are stupid. No, we are being proactive. If this thing could happen to anybody can be affected. You don't wait for evil, because if it's happened to your enemy, you leave it. That evil will come to you at some point. It must come to you. If you allow it, it will get to you. That is how evil grows. You don't allow evil to even be on your enemy. You fight it. That's what we are fighting. Because the rate of kidnapping, the rate of killing being sponsored by Sultan of Sokoto. Sultan of Sokoto is, I don't know what Nigerians see. This man is very evil. This man is the father, the president of Fulani in Nigeria. And who is doing all this killing, forming Wulu, forming the Boko Haram that you call the full name? I wish I know how to pronounce that name. Different, almost more than 9 terrorist group. Is he not one tribe? And who is the leader of that tribe? Sultan of Sokoto. And this primitive northerners that are there, they cannot go and do a revolution and bring that man down. No wonder Nzogu targeted him that period, because they know what it's the same people still doing the same thing. It's the same throne. It's the same throne, because these people can never change. These people know what they're doing. Sultan of Sokoto is the sponsor of all the killings in Nigeria, in the north and in Biafra land. In fact, the whole of Nigeria, both Kwara, both Oyo. This man is the sponsor. It is not so. Any Nigerian that don't know that this man is sponsor, that person is very stupid. You are deluded. Imagine Igbo people having 10 terrorist group and moving up and down, and we now have only one Igwe, for example. And you tell me that it's not that person that is sponsoring them. It's not that person that is coordinating all the attacks. You have Mietiala. Mietiala is there. Sultan of Sokoto is there. Late Buhari that have died in 2019 is the founder, is the patron of Mietiala. Even Goodluck came out this year and said it. Goodluck came out and said it. That this man, they called him to come and negotiate for Boko Haram. They called him to be a negotiator. Gumi is there doing what he's doing. And Nigerians are looking at this Gumi, talking. Some useless Yoruba people that don't know their left and their right. You are defending your brother, your Mumu brother that is in power. And you don't know that anything can spark anytime. And that thing you are defending is gone. You are defending one man over the lives of millions of people. You are defending one man over the lives of millions of people. That's what you are defending. Over millions of Yoruba people life.
Mazi.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good day.
You know, Mazi, you said the man is not informed. Far be it. He is highly informed. He knows what is happening. It's an agenda. They know what they are doing. You know, I tell you this. You can never defend Nigeria without sounding foolish to the public. And that is it. These people, they know, don't say they are not informed, they are naive. No, far be it. They are working very hard. Yes. Mazi, go on.
There's this lady on
Arise TV, not audio, but the other lady. She said the foreign minister thought it was on Nigerian.
Exactly.
TV.
Exactly. Do you know that? Do you know that Mazi, do you know that the way he's looking that lady, if he has the power or have the capability, if it's in Nigeria, he will order for her assassination immediately. Who are you in Nigeria? You know? Mazi, go on. Go on.
So she now asks, who even advised him to go on Piers Morgan's show? that does not hold back. But then, what now is funny to me is a Nigerian journalist is saying that he thinks this is a Nigerian TV. A Nigerian TV presenter is making that statement. It now begs the question. So she knows that the Nigerian media is of a low standard, or that they really are not doing their job, for her to have made that comment on the same Nigerian TV. So I asked the same question. Who even asked him to go there? Because I can do better than him in that interview. Even if I was there to act the part that is, because he was basically confused. Everything that he was being asked, he was answering nonsense. He was just answering rubbish. The first question they asked him, he went to explain everything Gaddafi, the story that Buhari was telling us. Gaddafi took Gaddafi say, as if Nigeria is the only country where people who carry guns from Libya can go to. They didn't pass any country. As if we share border with Libya. Every time we talk, so Gaddafi will throw light weapon was this and that and that. Does Nigeria have border with Libya? Is Nigeria the only country where Libyans can move with arms? Why would our own country different? I don't understand. After he double finished, the man still come back ask him, say, I beg, the number one I ask you, how many were there? Since the one I give is not correct. Simple question. You say you don't count people by their religion. Later on you come back, you say in the past 5 years now 170. So how do you that work?
Mazi, Mazi, I continue saying it. You can never defend Nigeria without sounding stupid. It's only in Nigeria that they can, if he's talking to a journalist or to television in Nigeria, who are you to ask him? Before even the lady, any journalist in Nigeria can talk to you, we call him His Excellency, sir. I know that you are doing very well, but sir, look at what, sir. They will frame it, in a subservient manner. He thought, he was thinking that if he go there, they will respect him. He is a foreign minister. He don't know that even if it is the way they also question their politicians for your information. You see that Iranian Canadian, if he's talking to his own, for example, a Canadian congressperson, a politician, even the president, the prime minister of Canada, it's like that. If you lie, he will tell you you lie. Shame to you. Chineke. Mazi Nigeria. Hey, Nigeria alarm neyi. Maruko Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Caller on signal, please go on. Can you hear me? Call on signal. Caller on signal, please go on. Caller on signal. Yes, Mazi, go on, please. Mazi Ezu, go on.
Biafrans and lovers for freedom. Mazi Jonathan, our people in Igbo language says that Ikegwu onye ogu Ogabaja ma chọchakwa ebe a ga-ebido aka afọ gị aga n'ikpere. I want to tell our people, this foreign minister of Nigeria, just showed the world what we mean when we saw that Nigeria is kakistocracy and kleptocracy. It's how to share money. They are the worst of us, but they are ruining our lives. They are not ruling us to anything. Anyway, the Nigerian cabal, the establishment is in total panic and desperation. We are not fighting to make Nigeria better. We are indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, led by our leader Mazi and Kanu, administered by our leadership, the Directorate of State, DOS, headed by Mazi Doziem. We have no army. We have no government in exile nor at home. We have no de facto government nor jure government. The indigenous people of Biafra went to Lati, Finland, to demonstrate and proclaim that Simon Ekpa, his autopilot, his government in exile, and all are not members nor related to IPOB movement in any way. At this juncture, I must salute the Directorate of State of IPOB for their wisdom, their foresight, and the leadership in planning that and organizing that demonstration in Finland, where we even saw the written brief explaining that for any color, and definitely not Nigerian media. There is genocide, my people. Ongoing genocide of Christians and non-Muslims. This happens in several ways. It happens in killings, displacement, but I want to talk about cultural genocide, which is equally very grievous. Our people, the markets, hospitals, changing your names, changing the names of your cultural centers, Landmarks but they're killing themselves with the same Fulani people. They don't worship in the same mosque. If a Yoruba man goes to Fulani mosque, the man will just go, the Fulani man will go into the mosque, the Yoruba guy will go to his own mosque, will go and pray. But you're still sticking together. When people come for change, this is a change. This is the light that we need. This is what Mazi Kanu was saying, that the only way Biafra will come is through a miracle. This is a miracle for us. This is a massive miracle. I don't see our people treating enough. We need to treat hard. We need to go to truth and social. That's where Trump is. Throw everything there. Give him everything he wants. We need to promote Nicki Minaj more. Because she did all this, what she did yesterday. Yesterday, it was something fantastic. Look at the whole people supporting the Democrats. They're supposed to be ashamed of themselves. They're coming to try and run down Nicki Minaj. Oh, she did this, or she did the same this. But no, I couldn't give them those spaces. I had to attack them as well. What she did, none of them did that. Look at Mrs. Obama. Bring back our girls. Where is she? Shame on them all. They're a disgrace to the black race. These Fulani people, they're not only just doing it, they're disgracing our race as black people. When they look in Africa, there's bomb all over the place. No lights, no economy, no security, no healthcare, no road, zero. Backwards. My missus from the Caribbean. I try to tell her I want to bring her to Nigeria. She's kind of scared. Me myself, I'm scared. She wants to come back. I'm scared to bring her because you have to have a lot of security. I went to Antigua. Or time, even Imo State is bigger than that place. Mazi, can you imagine? They have a refinery there. One small place. It's bigger than Antigua. It's so beautiful. The people there are well cultured. I was surprised. If you see the beach, if it was in Nigeria, you will have all these celestial people during there. They will selling things on the beach. And that place is well secure. Imo State is bigger than it. Oh, is bigger than it. Antigua. Our people, we need to do more. We need to show ourselves love.
We need to organize ourselves. We need to treat hard. We're not treating enough. I need to commend all those ladies like Choma and Adugo as well as the other one, Ada Biafra. They're doing well as well. They're fighting for us. But Mazi, they are just living here. We need to do more, but we're doing well. We're doing very well. We've come this far, so there's more to do. All we need to tell them now is referendum. This is what my manager was saying before. My English manager, tell them what we want. This is what we want. We want referendum. They don't want Nigeria anymore. They don't love us. All they do is Igbo, 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 Igbo. Every day on Twitter, I'm fighting all of them. Mazi, arrest my case here. God be with us all. This is our time. God bless us. One love. All Thank you, Mazi. Good night.
The war almost hey Biafra. We are not looking for special love. Never. What we are looking for is to have equal playground, to be treated as same citizens and nothing more. No love. We don't have nothing to do with their love. When you have you can have a dry pot in Kanu, but you cannot. There is no seaport in our land. On there they say no, it is it should be dredged, no money. The Calabar seaport they said no, it's not deep. Rubbish, but it's deep to be collecting crude oil. Super tankers betting to collect crude oil. But it's not deep for commercial purposes, other commercial purposes. I think, let me take this call. It will be the last call. Caller on WhatsApp, please. Caller on WhatsApp, please. You are going to be the last call. Off your radio, please. Your listening device, please. And make it as brief as possible, please. Caller on WhatsApp, please. Go on. You are the last caller. Go on.
I'm calling from the zoo called Nigeria. Enugu, precisely. Mazi, first of all, I want to send a message to Nigeria government about their case with our leader, Chinedu, tomorrow. We are telling them that we are watching them. Chinedu is bigger than Nigeria forever. And once more, we want to remind the caliphate that that throne must be dismantled. It's a must case, and we must do it. Because failure to do it, we are in a big mess, and we must do it. We are coming for them. Mazi, thank you. I don't have much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is where I'm going to switch off the phones. Mazi Obase, please, you can continue towards your closing remarks, please. Mazi Obase. Mazi Obase.
Mazi,
please go on.
Yes. Thank you very much. So, jama'a mutane Hausawa ‘yan mu na Arewa, Hausawa da kuma masu jin Hausa, muna gaida ku, muna gaida lokacin da kuka ba mu kunninku, ka saurare mu, duk masu sauraron mu, ko kai Bahaushe ne ko kai kana jin Hausa ne kawai dai muna gaida kai. Wa'azin da muke yi a nan ba na komai ba ne. Muna wa'azin nan da mun samu ‘yancin kai ne. Da daɗewa, planaka da su masu ‘yan kwangilansu da ma'aikatansu sun so ku gano mu cewa mu ne damuwanku. Sun so ku gano mu cewa mu ne asalin damuwan Najeriya. Amma yau abubuwan da ke faruwa, kowa ya san damuwan Najeriya, cewa planaka ne damuwan Najeriya. Kowa ya san cewa ba Inyamurai ne suka kwace ƙasan Hausawa ba. Kowa ya san cewa ba Inyamurai ne suke kisa abunan suke a kashin mutanen TV a Benue. Kowa ya san cewa ba Inyamurai ne masu yake-yaken jukunawa a Taraba ba. Kowa ya san cewa ba Inyamurai ne masu kashe Birom da Magavu da mutanen abin nan Plateau gabaki daya ba. Kowa ya san cewa ba Inyamurai ne suke kashe mutane a Southern Kaduna ba. Kowa ya sani. Yau su wane ne asalin damuwan Najeriya? Kuma su mutanen nan wanda suna damuwan Najeriya yau, shugabansu, jagabansu shine Usman Danfodio. Shine Usman Danfodio na yau, wato Sultan of Sokoto. Shi Emir na Sokoto. Shi sarkin musulmi wanda ke kiran kai sarkin musulmi kuma asalin dai shi sarkin Fulanika ne. Su ne damuwan Najeriya. Su ne damuwanku. Su suke cin zarafinku. Su suke wulakantar da ku ba mu bane. Su suke zuwa gonaki suna kashe mutane ba Inyamurai bane. Dalilin da yasa muna wannan maganan cewa ku gane gunda damuwanku yake, da mun kuma ku samu ku nima hanya da ya kamata ku magance wannan damuwan. As I have said, some of you have been told by the Fulanis and those who work for them and those that they have contracted to tell you that the Igbo man is your problem. Today we know that Igbos are not your problem. We don't need to tell you. You know that we are not your problem. That the Biafrans are not your problem. Because the Biafrans are not the ones killing Tifi people in Benue. The Biafrans are not the ones who have taken over Hausa land and has refused them to be governors and local government chairmen and kings in their own land. The Biafrans or the Igbo man is not the one who killed people in southern Kaduna. They are not the one who are killing Birom, the Magavu people, the Ngas, the Birom, the other tribe in Plateau State. They are not the ones who are killing Jukun in Taraba State. They are not. We have never been your problem. You know who your problem is. If you did not know before, the situation I've made it very clear now. And it is important that you understand that the reason we preach what we preach here is so that you can be able to identify your problem and make sure that your problem is taken care of so that you can be free. Mazi, Jonathan, thank you very much. It is wonderful, working with you on a platform like this. It has always been a privilege. And thank you everyone who has listened to us. Ndewo no Chineke.
Ndewo Mazi. Ndewo. Biafrans and lovers of freedom. As we are watching what is happening in that zoological primitive jungle republic known as Nigeria, it is high time we support IPOB. It is high time we lend our efforts in any way, both financially and otherwise, to support what we are doing. Because you don't need to be preached to understand where Nigeria is heading to. You don't need to be preached. You can hear sometime it has been trending. The Nigerian forces, the Nigerian military, they say they cannot. The common saying has been that they are overwhelmed, that they cannot defend the citizens. So you need to defend yourselves. Many high-ranking officials, Danjuma, DSS boss, and others has been chanting it, singing it. All of a sudden, Nigerians now understand the caliphate is trying to stir up nationalism. Fake, I call it fake nationalism, to defend Nigeria. Say no to Trump. Who dare you? Why you say no to Trump intervention to destroy the terrorists? You are saying yes to Fulani colonization. You are saying yes to Fulani terrorists or terrorism. Look at in broad daylight yesterday evening, a church in Kwara was attacked by the same Fulani terrorists. They on camera. Camera was there watching. I think they said 3 people were killed and some people were kidnapped. That is what is going on every day in Nigeria. And people want to defend Nigeria. I say you can never try to defend Nigeria without being foolish. Because what is going on there is glaring everywhere. It's glaring at everybody's eyes, face. So it's not something. That is why the Nigerian foreign minister is to be made fool of himself, trying to defend Nigeria, what they are doing. The caliphate, the Sokoto caliphate has hijacked the Nigerian government, and they are using it to achieve the Fulanization of everybody, using Islamization. That is a real fact. That is it. You have a country with internally displaced people, that is refugees of more than 10 million of their population, and they are not talking about it. Now you ask yourself, who is occupying their land? All these things is they are trying to showcase being busy doing nothing. They are the cause of the problems, but they continue running around trying to say as if they are looking for solution, but they are the cause of the problem. That is how they act. Therefore, this caliphate, Sokoto caliphate manipulations of the indigenous people in Nigeria issue end with us. I am telling you, with IPOB. Since 1804, Ottoman Danfodio manipulated the great house arrest to kill themselves, fight against themselves, and give him victory, and subjugate themselves under him, which they are suffering today. But I'm happy the Hausas are rising up. They are now understanding. Therefore, say no to Fulanization. A people that has different terrorist groups, but they continue manipulating Nigerians that, oh, Igbos are the problem. Igbos are the problem. Mazi, this is the height. I've never seen people so foolish. They are the people killing everybody. But when they go, hey, Igbos are the problem in Nigeria. Igbos are your problem. They try to isolate those that will resist them, to carry everybody along in order to bulldoze them down so that they will have their way. But in IPOB, they jam truck. They jam rock. And we must continue. Tomorrow is our leaders cut out, and we are keenly watching from everywhere around the world, from the zoo, from Biafra land, from the wider zoo, to every corners of the world. The world is watching, and we are watching. And they should not take us for granted. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. You cannot keep somebody and start manufacturing, trying to manufacture a crime and nail it on him. No, it can't happen. You see this IPOB, we must continue until our goal is reached, and that is the restoration of Biafra. Biafra remains our ideology. Biafra remains our religion and everything we have. Therefore, we must continue upholding, because no going back, because no back to go to. Thank you for listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here, it is simply good evening.
Ebeka unusi Biafra. Ebeka unusi Biafra gaimara Biafra kanebozo kabiri agaimara Biafra. Biafra Zombie, Waboke, Anijala, Nawama. Wana limo kama malombo, wana jumo, wasina Biafra natago. Chukwu kika biama, onyagi no naka, yamerani ye malama. Zombie, Waboke, Anijala.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Alu province of Biafra land. Today is the 25th day, being Saturday, 25th day of June in the year of our Lord, 2022. Without taking any much time, I will hand over the platform to the head of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Chinedu, to take over and talk to the whole world. Mazi, over to you. The whole world is hearing you. Please go on.
Greetings to all of you great Biafrans all over the world. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night to you, depending on your time zone. My name is Mazi Chinedu. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olu province of Biafra land. By the mercy and grace of Chukwu Okike Abiyama Promiheline, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of directorate. Wonderful Biafrans, I want to begin tonight with a commendation to all wonderful, all hardcore, all committed Biafrans that participated either physically or those who were spreading the message of the Biafran, IPOB, Amazonian, and Oduduwa Yoruba Nation 1 million man march in the city of Brussels, Belgium, on the 14th and 15th of this very month, June 2022. I want to commend all of you, those who came from far and near, from Canada, USA, from Asia, from Africa, and of course, from all the countries in Europe. You all, not only the Biafran people, but as well the Amazonian and the Oduduwa Nation